From the day we're born, we're immersed in a world of expectations and judgment, whether it be from our parents, to our teachers, to society itself. It's something that we learn to acclimate ourselves with early on, and much like everyone else, I never really had any reservations with that. I mean, to be fair, I never really gave it a second thought. It's just something that was the way it was, and that was that. But as I get older, I've been finding myself preoccupied with the noise that is comparison and the paralyzing fear that I've developed ever since I was a kid. You see, I've always had this inherent desire to express myself creatively, and the older I got, the better I became. But the thing is, I was just never enough. You see, it was never right, it was never perfect. I became even more aware of the voices around me to a point where it became borderline debilitating. I fell out of love with my passions and became enveloped in sadness, mourning the life that I could have lived, that I should have lived, that I should be living, and it hurt me deeply. It's wild just to think about it because, with the perspective that I have now, and I'll look back and think about the way that I was treating myself, and it just makes me really upset just to think about the way that I would talk to myself and the things that I would do. I would come out here and go online and look at people that I've never met in my entire life and feel like I wasn't good enough. I would look around and see people that I know and feel like I wasn't good enough, and I would just constantly compare myself to these highlight reels and not give myself enough credit for who I am. And fast forward a few years, I've finally begun that journey of taking it upon myself to, take my power back and understanding that it's always been and always will be in my hands. It starts with imagining the freedom that would come with being unshackled from the opinions of others and their expectations. Understanding that it isn't something that has to remain in my imagination and that I can truly work hard and get to the level that I want to get to. You see, when your life is built upon the voices of other people, it's hard to really listen and believe the one that comes from within yourself, because that voice has also had influence from other people, right? And what changed everything for me was realizing that changing these voices was an impossible task. It's not up to me to change the opinions of other people or get everyone to like me, but what I can do is replace them with voices that come from myself instead. Understanding that letting go of expectations doesn't mean you don't care about other people. It just means you care more about being true to yourself, finding joy in your own passions, your own dreams, and chasing them wholeheartedly and meeting like-minded people along the way. There's so many quotes and pieces of fiction and just general media online, talking about the fragility of life and how we can only do this thing one time. But then when we get into, conversations of feeling like you wasted your time or feeling like you cared so much about what other people think, you can't help but bring up just life in general. We genuinely only have one shot at this, and I think I've come to realize that I don't want to waste that shot thinking about things that don't matter and thinking about people that don't matter and focusing on things that are out of my control, and really focusing on the things that are in my control and just doing what I want to do in life and taking that leap of faith, not for anyone else but for me. And to anyone listening who might be going through something similar, I think you should as well. Take a deep breath and understand you're going to be okay. Take that leap of faith, and I'll see you on the other side.